Hello, and thank you for trusting me to read for you. I'm going to be reading the breakup reading, and on Etsy, your name starts with the letter N. I like to do that just so we can make sure that we're in the right spot. So, a few things while I'm shuffling. On my channel on YouTube, I use a different camera, and if the channel or if the camera zooms in, then we pull a clarifier from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. There are 5 cards for this reading, and then there are 3 bonus cards. So for the bonus cards, we'll be using the Oracles of Romantic Energy to answer some questions that you can use for like meditation or journaling or visualization, and they can help you shift any energy that you want to or need to shift. So let's go ahead and we'll get the cards. Question number 1, why did we break up? Question number 2, what could I do differently? Question number 4, because we're going to use this deck for 3 and 5. Question number 4 is, what should I learn? Question number 3 is, will they come back? And question number 5 is, do they regret breaking up? All right, so we already have our first card that it zoomed in on, so let me pull that card. I always like to try and pull them so I don't forget. So there's a little clarity on why that answer is what it is. Okay. All right, so card number 1. Why did we break up? This is showing as the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is about intuition. It's about trusting yourself. I feel that this relationship ended because there was some growth that was happening, and both people's partners were not on the same path. They weren't in the same energy, and there was some intuition in this situation where one of the partners, I believe the other person, has done some shifting and changing in their energy, and they decided and knew that they needed to do something for themselves. And it hurt you along the way. I don't feel that they handled it very well as far as like explaining what was going on, but they made this choice because they wanted to experience something that had to do with their growth. So number 2, what could you do differently? This is showing as the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is about some fear of change. I feel that the biggest thing that you could do differently was to not be afraid of the changes that were coming along in the connection, because they were supposed to happen. I feel that you have seen this person grow along the way, and you've seen changes that you made, and you had a lot of fear that you were going to lose them. And sometimes the fear and the things that we're the most worried about are the things that we like vibrate at. And those are the things that come true and that we see in our lives. So will they come back? This is showing us no. Once again, we have fear that's coming up. I have a feeling that you have a lot of like, I'll never find somebody. They were the best person ever. How can this happen to me? Like you're kind of in this chaotic, I'm afraid to be alone energy. And you really need to work on calming that energy and soothing that energy, because if you say to the universe, I don't know what I would do if I was alone, as a human, we're here on earth to learn experiences. And when you tell the universe, I don't know what I would do, the universe says, okay, well, here's the experience so that you can see what you would do. So I would definitely suggest, and I don't feel that it's just this relationship. I feel that in your life, you have a lot of fear going on. Your fear of losing a job, fear of getting sick, fear of not having money, fear of not having this person. Fear is huge. And I actually feel that you even may want to speak with like a counselor or a a life coach or somebody who can kind of help you overcome some of these fears, because they're really stopping these big experiences that you want. So the next one is, what should I learn? And this is showing as the reverse 9 of Swords. So the energy of the reverse 9 of Swords is really about healing. It's about recovery. I feel that you need to really learn about how to recover, about how to be unafraid, about how to let go of the fear that's kind of built up throughout your life when it comes to relationships. And some clarity about that is the reverse Knight of Swords. And the reverse Knight of Swords is about some things being like out of control. I feel that you really didn't feel that you had control in this relationship. And your fear was that they held all the power, that they could make the choice when to leave. Like, you almost looked at the situation and said, well, I knew that would happen. And I have to say to you, did you know that it would happen? Or did you energetically ask the universe to bring you something so that you could experience it? You may not have said the words out loud, I want to experience this relationship breaking up. But the things that you have said out loud are things like, how do I know you really want to be here with me? How do I know this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing? I feel like you're going to leave. I know you're going to leave. There's no way you can love me like you say you're going to love me. Like, you can't have those kind of conversations with another person and not expect that they're going to feel some type of like insecurity, disinterest. So then, do they regret breaking up? Yes. They thought you were a dream come true. Oh, I feel that you didn't have this type of an energetic feel for this situation. You were their dream come true. But this fear got in the way. So I feel that they don't plan on coming back, but they do regret the breakup. I feel that they regret that they didn't communicate with you well. As it is currently, the energy will stay in what it currently is, which is not getting back together, unless you can shift your fears. It seems like a really tall order. It seems like something that is really kind of like difficult. But I'll tell you, it's something that can be done within 3 days. Energy can shift within 3 days. So let's go ahead and we'll look at the romantic energy cards, and we'll ask your guides like what kind of energy and things you need to shift. So the first card is, what kind of romantic energy do you want? What kind of romantic energy should you focus on? And what kind of romantic energy do you need? All right. So and these are things that like the words on these cards, if you meditate on them or if you pray about them, these are the things that your spirit guides know that you need to shift either in this relationship in order to change that no to a yes, or in a future relationship so that you can have a more smooth connection with the person. So energy that you want is showing is happy. Happiness in self is the first block and a very solid foundation. I feel that you want a happy relationship. You want to feel like things are just going to go well and the person wants to be there with you and they're never going to go anywhere, and you want security. And you can bring this happiness into the relationship with you. This is the kind of happiness that you don't get from the other person. This is the kind of happiness that you have to come with. So then card number 2, focus on this energy, divine timing. Your relationship is being led by divine timing. I will be honest, I really do feel that this relationship does have the potential to re-spark, but you have got to get over the fear. That literally is the only thing that's keeping you from being in this relationship with this person, is the fear that you have. Even as I tell you, oh yeah, you could potentially get back with this person, you still have so much fear that you're like, oh, but what if I can't? Like, that fear that you feel in your heart that keeps coming up as I say these things, like, this person is not going to turn around and come running back to you because you haven't changed things. They're not going to run back into the same energy because they don't want to be there. It hurts them because they are a good person. They didn't do anything wrong. You have some old energy that you're bringing in, and it's affecting the connection that you're in. And until you heal that, no one's going to be able to sustain a relationship with you, because it's kind of like if you were driving your car, right? and somebody sideswiped you, and you got this huge dent on your car, and then you come home and you say, "You jerk," and they're like, "What?" And you're like, I have a scratch on my car. You're such a jerk." And you're like, "But," and they say, "I wasn't driving. I wasn't even there. Why are you upset with me?" And you're like, "Because my car has a scratch." See how you've kind of like misplaced some of the things? So in this relationship with this person, they're just living their life, and then you're like, "Oh, but I'm mad about this." And they're like, but I wasn't even there." Like, it's confusing to them, and they couldn't handle that. That's one of the big things that they left from, because the fear was something they couldn't fight anymore. It's actually quite large, the energy of fear in your life. So then the energy that you need is showing as confusion. You or your partner are confused. And I feel that the reason that you need this energy in your life is because it's going to force you to make changes. I feel that going to a counselor or a therapist is really going to benefit you, because I feel like you have some things that you need to unpack. I feel that the confusion is coming in when you're like confusing your current relationship energy with energy from past relationships. And I feel that sitting down with a counselor or therapist is really going to help you like unpack all of this stuff, because what's happening is you're going into a relationship with some baggage from past relationships, including relationships that were platonic. You've had your feelings hurt because of the fear that you've carried around. And I feel that working on that fear and healing that fear is going to completely radically change relationships and the way you have them. All right, well, thank you so much for trusting me to read for you, and I look forward to reading for you again.